On this David of QSP Knife. Now we are here just doing a kind of a virtual blade show. So if you guys want to see anything, then do let me know. We're going to be just doing these type of things. So it's kind of a more thing like if you can't make it out to a blade show, then this gives you the opportunity to actually kind of see the knives, have any experiences, have any questions, then let us know as well. So that's going to be a good thing about that. And also you can just see in the area down here, you can also even see close-ups. If you want to see close-ups of different knives, that's going to be the Calcion. So it's a different material for us. But I'll just hang out and see how things are going. Welcome in. If you have any questions, it's kind of a virtual blade show in a way where you can kind of have more of an interaction. And also, if you want to do a one-on-one shopping, I can pull things out and see what they're like. You make the order on the website. I can pack it up at the moment. So we're kind of just testing out, see how it goes, see if you guys like the setup for it. How's it going? Welcome. Big fan of QSP. Great. If you want to see any of the new stuff as well, we do have some of the new prototypes that are available that you can take a look at. Otherwise, while you're here, you can even go to over to qspknife.com, make your order. I can pack it up right now. Or if you want to see different variants, especially with some of the materials, you might like a different pattern better than the other one. And then that would be something that would give you an opportunity to say, oh, well, out of these two, I want the one on the right instead of the one on the left. And I can pack that one up for you. It makes it kind of nice with that. And if you get to $100 for your purchase, you get one of these little figures. That's something we do a lot of times for the blade shows. So if you can't make it out to those, then that's where we're going to do it here, give you that opportunity. So now, Texan Pride, welcome to be in here. And then also, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. We were just in Texas for Houston. Was a little bit let down by some of the food options for Houston, but we may have just went to some of the wrong places. But give me an idea as far as what you guys are looking for, any questions that you guys might have. Just going to hang out, see how things are going. If you guys have any questions or anything else, we can definitely show those things. These are going to be the ones that are the limited edition runs. So you have some of these are in Vanek steel, as well as the one that's under the microscope on this side. So you can kind of see that material for that Calcion. So it's a nice little setup. So that's what makes it nice as well. So you can kind of get a close-up look about what it looks like. And Texan Pride, now what's the one the model that you like the most? Yeah, workaholic. Now that one was one of the ones that was around. I used to have a workaholic, for my own personal, for fixed blade. We didn't win an award for that one. We did have the ones for like the Viper, which is our most recent win for that one for the fixed blade and Canary. There's been some requests for like a middle grade kind of, and that's probably where the workaholic came in a factor. It was kind of like in the middle between the two sizes. So you have the little neck knife, and then you had the Canary full size, and then the workaholic was kind of in the middle. So that's where we had some requests for that. So let me know if that's the similar thing for that too. But we do have like the that one. We have the T Cook that just came out. We have um, the Tiny Tot that just came out, chunky guy, and then we do have the Viper that won for the award, and then of course the Canary fixed blade. If you want to see any of those fixed blades, do let me know on that too. Oh, nice. You saw him in the Blade Show. So yeah, Texas, that's where we won the award as well. So Blade Show Texas last year is where we got that award for best fixed blade. So that's the one that we won for the award on that one. It was the one that's the basically the resin handle. So it's a faux turtle shell. So that's the letter C. It's like basically one of these guys. So full turtle shell on this one. For the workaholic specifically, or do you have other ones that you're thinking about? A lot of them we've done kind of redesigns on. So like now for the Penguin V2, there's the one with you can go from washers and bearings, those type of things. Even with the glide lock version, some of the models, I mean, it's by demand, and so if there's something that is done well for us in the past, we could bring it back. If it's something that got discontinued for one reason or another, but a lot of them is going to be the new designs coming up. We have the Coyote, we have the Heron, we have the Mantis that's been doing really well. Ferret just came out. So a lot of the models that are going forward are going to be kind of the new designs for that. And of course, by request and everything else, then we can look at things that don't fit into that lineup. Because right now we probably don't have a fixed blade that is the workaholic size. So that's where we've already heard that one, and we'll kind of work on getting something for that. But we have the baby penguin that came out, and that's a small fixed blade. It's out of a EDC fixed blade for us. But anybody else that came in, let me know if you have any questions. Kind of a virtual blade show, and if you get to $100 on the QSP Knife site, or now fulfill orders at this time. If you want to see anything, it'll be kind of more of a procurement type of thing where I can show you different models, especially with some of the ones with patterns. Even with the Calcion, some of them have different patterns to them. So especially if you're buying one of the limited editions, that's going to be with the Vanex and different patterns for it. So you might want to see a few different ones that are available, and you can kind of choose which one it is, and that'll be the one that gets packed up for you. So it makes it kind of like a live shopping network, if you would say that. So definitely have that available. So let me know what you guys have, and then we'll get that going for you. Yeah, for the worker now, so you can basically like a lot of his designs for the worker. Workaholic was the same designer, so now that one it didn't perform as well. So maybe it was a little bit larger. So that's where now that lockback was a nice design for it, but it was a little bit larger, I think, than some people like for it, because the slip joints is something that I think went pretty well for what we had, and it's pretty dialed in. So some of the ones that we have, even for the slip joint, are pretty dialed in for those. But that's where just it helps to get the input from community. Also, let us know as far as what else you're looking for that might not be in the lineup as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's a crystallized tie version, so you can get a real good kind of up close and look of it to kind of see how that plays with light as well. So crystallized titanium is not new to us. We do a lot of different materials that are kind of new to market, where we get it first before some other people. So that's where we have basically the we're calling like Ember micarta, which has a glow in the dark pattern to it. We also do have the one that's kind of a veil. So it's a clear G10 with aluminum or copper. And so that's one that we have for that. But it's a nice setup for these. And then also just basically, this one is a 106 of 193. So as you see on there, 106 of 193. Vanex for the steel. So that's the first Vanex blades that we've used within the lineup. Now, so that's going to be one that's heavily corrosion resistant, And then also it's going to be it's going to be edge retention is probably going to be similar to uh, 14C 154 cm, but the corrosion resistance is the high point of Vanex, so it's going to be one of the highest corrosion resistant material that you can bring in. This would be that blade there. Yeah, but if anybody else wants to see anything else, then I can pull that up. And also, if you make any orders on the QSP Knife website, then I can go and fulfill it currently. So it's just kind of a nice little thing that we're trying to offer for kind of a virtual blade show to be able to see what's out there, see some of the things that may not have been um, available on the market yet. So like this is one that is a new model coming out. This is called the Elk. So this is kind of what we're calling as far as that copper veil for the G10. It's clear G10 with copper. This kind of a Nessmuck style blade shape in a folder. And then under $100 on these guys. And that's where I'm talking about as far as different handle materials. So all of them are going to be different patterns. So you're going to have kind of like a piece of wood where every single one of them is going to be different. So you're not going to have the same knife as somebody else, and from one knife to another, it's actually going to be different. So that's one thing that's nice about this handle material. So it gives that depth to it, and then that's clear G10 with that material. But anybody else coming in, so QP's coming up on 10-year anniversary as well. But if you guys want to see anything, then let me know and I can pull it out. Especially things with different patterns or any other materials, I can show you those things. And then also, if you guys do want to make an order on the website currently on qspknife.com, then I can fill that, especially for those things with different handle material patterns. So each one of these is going to be different. For this Calcion, for a lot of even the micarta. Well, micarta is going to be pretty similar, but as far as that aluminum veil, copper veil type of material is going to be a little bit different on those. Yeah, but those are the new ones as far as the limited run. So each one of them has numbered. So it is serialized now for the production run on those guys. So only some of them are only 250 units internationally that you have for those. You also do have some of the slips available. So you can get that for that knife, or you can just have it for any knife that you have in your lineup. So it makes it a nice little pocket EDC knife for any of your slip joints or any of your folding knives that you want to keep protected. So just a nice setup for those. And I think with anything with the knife category, it makes it a little bit harder on some of these platforms where we can't do promotion. So if you guys have any questions or anything, then let us know as far as any of the products. So you can go through the whole catalog on qspknife.com, and then we can show you any of those, any of the new models as well. So we have some different ones that are down here that I kind of pulled just to be able to show off. So even for the elk, there's some kind of crazy materials for like an 80s G10. Yeah, next show for us is going to be over in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's going to be the next blade show. So this is going to be the Mantis. So it also has a glow backspacer on this one. That's one of the new models for us as well. But anyways, coming in, let me know what type of comments you might have, any questions you might have for the brand for QSP Knife. This is going to be the Peregrine. So same type of material with that aluminum veil, G10, clear G10 with aluminum foil. And any of the regular product lineup is something that you can pick up. So if you have any questions on any of the other models, we have probably about 50 different models available. So there's, of course, the Penguins available for that. And then you have just other models that come up through the lineup, through the fixed blades, folders. We even have the Penguin slip joint as well. So that's something that you can pick up, take a look at. And also, if you guys have any feedback as well, then just let us know in the comments below. Yeah, and a lot of people that won for we were at the NRA annual meeting, so that was one that a lot of people had fun with the game. So we're gonna have that over in the Atlanta show as well. So basically, it's a 10-second timer game. So if you can get the 10 seconds on nose, you can win a knife that way. Otherwise, of course, we'll have the raffle. So it's getting a little fun thing that's interaction for folks that come by. You don't even need to pay for anything for those, but it's just a little fun game to try out to see if you can win a knife. The ferret's been getting some good reception for this one. So this is one of our newer models that came out. It's a little ferret, so nice and comfortable in hand. It doesn't have any of the sharp points to it, so well rounded out. Good EDC size for a lot of folks as well. This one's going to be also now one of the newer ones that we use for Vanex. Oh, not Vanex, but sorry, Nitro V. These are Vanex. That's Nitro V. So Nitro V for these guys, and then as well as there's going to be other dealer exclusives that do come out through the year. If you guys want, I can even pull different models, so we can even do chronologically from kind of the lowest models all the way now to the new ones as well. So if you haven't seen some of those in hand, as far as even the Parrot's still a great model. We went to a V2 model running on bearings for that one. How's it going? Weld and carry. If you have any questions on the brand, do let us know on these. The ones that are out here now are the limited edition runs in Vanex steel. Otherwise, let us know as far as what QSP knife, if you do even have any, is your favorite model. And if you see that anything is missing from the lineup, do let us know on that as well. And then we can see any other models through the lineup too. So if you guys want to see anything else, then let me know. Otherwise, we're doing kind of a live one. So if you go over to the website and make a purchase, I can pack it up right here, get that going for you. Also, if you get to $100, then you can get one of these little guys as well. Nice. Yeah, we'll be there now. So that's the next show coming up for us. So that's out of focus. Next show coming up for us. Now there's a little penguin with a penguin. So a little figurine that you can get now for that $100 purchase. And also now we just have Atlanta last year was when we won for the Penguin Glide Lock. So we won for Best Buy for that guy. So that's one of the models that's continuing to do well for us. So we still have the V2, which is going to be the one that you can do washers or bearings. That's going to be that Penguin for that guy. And some of the bigger models. So as I was showing before, Elk's a model out here. We have a Falcon, a Peregrine Falcon. So it's basically a Peregrine. So that's another model that's out. It's also one that's in denim micarta. So this is the Parrot. So Parrot's going to be a little bit more standard blade shape for it. So it's going to be a drop point instead of the sheep's foot blade. So some people prefer that. So these are running on bearings as well and running on that denim micarta that we kind of became known for this guy. Yeah, the Canary's been really good for us as well. This one, I don't think gets a lot of love for it now, but this one is the Woodpecker. So this is going to be an M390. So titanium with M390 steel. So it's going to be the Woodpecker model. Yeah, Canary's been a really nice size for a lot of folks as far as that model, even with the Glide Lock version. So that's another one that's available for that. Yeah, Austin over at Traditional Pocket Knives has been doing a really good job in some of the exclusives that he's doing, even for that jig bone that he came up with for wanting to do that one. That one came out really well. Currently on the books, we don't have any of the lockback and kind of how that worker or the worker was. So if that's something that the market is looking for, then we can definitely look into those. Even coming out with a smaller workaholic might be a good idea, or something similar for that. So I don't know if you felt that that one was a good size, or if it's too big, too small for a lockback design, or if you want something that's a little bit more exciting for different locks too, that might be another option. Nice. Yeah, I think most of them are out of stock. You can probably find it on the secondary market, but I think most of the workers are out of stock. Even at least I'm out of stock for us. So this is going to be now one that will be kind of a similar one, but it's going to be larger than the regular penguin. So penguins are going to be a little bit smaller for design. This is going to be a larger size, but also S35VN at about $100. So it's a great value as well. Very cool. Yeah, it's good to hear that some of the models really resonated with folks, and you guys still enjoy it. Yeah, and that's one thing that's different, especially for the burlap that we brought out. So it's a burlap micarta that has a glow. So that's going to be kind of what we're calling an ember micarta. So it looks like a regular burlap. If you haven't seen it before, I can bring that out. It looks like a regular micarta, but then it has a glow resin in it. So it makes it, especially if you're going to be out using it, if you have a black light, they'll be able to glow up pretty nicely and not be able to lose the knife. Yeah, there's a new Torbay design This is one of the Ember micarta variations. So you can see the pattern on this one as well. Yeah, so that was called the T-Cook. So that's one of the Torbit designs. So retention is going to be that little strap for it. But very much a good one for doing processing. So if you're going to do any of your camping cutting, if you even want it to be your regular kitchen knife, you can definitely do that as well. So there's going to be also a Nitro V blade steel, Torbit design for these guys, and then utilizing that Ember micarta, basically that glow in the dark micarta for that. And let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything else. Otherwise, also some of the ones that have different patterns to it will be a nice thing to be able to see in person before you make your purchase. So always available on QSPKnife.com. Also, we'll get one of these little guys for any $100 purchase. So that's not going to be something that's advertised on the website, but we're taking care of it for any people that wanted to make orders live on the stream. But let us know what other models you want to check out as well, for whether it be fixed blade folders. Mumble V2, then there's the natural micarta. So it does not glow in the dark, but you can still do the RIT dye to get it to another color that you like. Otherwise, if you just like this type of color, some people just collect natural micartas. So that might be your preference, but that's going to be in D2 for these guys. For the Mumba V2, and one thing that's available for like the Penguin V2s, these have basically swappable. So basically the section for it is able to hold the bearing. So what's actually machined into the blade is allow you to run on bearings. So these are running on bearings now instead of the washers. But if you really love washers, that's something that you can offer on there and actually put that in there. Uh, the Teflon side goes blade side normally, and then you would have the bronze washers on the outside. So normally, if you're going to set this up, it's going to be blade, Teflon, bronze. This side also blade, Teflon, bronze. So that's normally how it ships out. And then if you have like the V1 version, that little washer in there helps during the breaking period of the washers, but really not necessary after that. So if you have one of those, I usually take it out of the previous model, but that's going to be the V2. Also has some different thumb studs for the V2 as well. So it's a little bit closer to the handle. And that's for the Penguin V2. let me know in the comments, guys, if you have any questions or anything. If you want to see anything, let me know on that. Yep. Which dolphin are you looking at? Do you have a preference on which handle material? Because that's going to be the one that also fits into the number 2. So we do have the slips for the dolphin. That was actually specifically designed for the dolphin, but could work with other models. I want to grab the other one. I'll be back. So this is like the mother pearl one. So basically on this one is the one that we only have 2 more of those in the U.S. Warehouse. And the natural material has been working really well for us. So even the abalone, this is actually the only one that I have in the U.S. right now. We're going to get a replenishment, but this is going to be the abalone. So if you made an order on it, this would be the one that would go out to you. So if you go onto the website and make that order, so that's going to be that abalone shell. So these are natural abalone. So it is basically between 2 pieces of acrylic. So basically it goes acrylic, abalone, acrylic. So it's sandwiched together. So it's a thinner one. So not like this one. This is going to be a full mother of pearl for this guy. That's going to be the abalone. A fully polished blade on it. This little tool that's in there, if you did need to take it apart, which most times you don't need to take your knife apart, but that's just for that back spacer. So that's a little bit different tooling. And kind of giving you a comparison for these. So that's what makes it nice about being able to choose your model. So this is going to be the mother. Tool came out. So this is going to be the mother of pearl model. And the abalone we have in a nebula as well. And nebula has been getting some good response as well. That's a little hard to come through. Let's put it under here. Yeah, so see a little different tones to it for that mother of pearl. And we'll pull up the other one to get a little different look on it as well. So with any natural material, you're going to get variations, and that's what kind of makes it beautiful in a way. That's going to be one of the models. You see this one's going to be a little bit different. So that's a little bit more ridging to it. Be able to play with the light a bit differently than the other one. The other one had a little bit more of a green tone to it. Yeah, the Refure Noble for the resin material. And that's where we've worked with Refure of one of the companies for different materials. So like even this one is going to be Refure. This is going to be the one that is the calcite or calcium as they call it. So it's basically a mineral found in hot springs. And that's the one that is going to be from Refure. Yeah, but any of those dolphins, if you're wanting any of those are the ones that I have available currently before getting a replenishment. So if you want any of those are on the website currently, and then you can pick that up. And then if you wanted to get a slip for it, those are available too. But call it out and see if there's anything else that you guys are looking for. So Texas Pride wanted to see the dolphin, so pulled that one out to take a look at. But if you have anything else that you want to look at, then do let me know, and then I can get that set up for you. And let me know if there's anything else more that you guys want to take a look at it. Either also in microscope or just closer in person. So that's one thing that kind of helps out with this type of format of being able to kind of see different materials, different for the crystallized titanium. And I was mentioning on this one, basically these are full slabs. So instead of having the acrylic and the shell, this is going to be full shells. So basically this is a full slab of the shell, full slab of the shell. So there's no acrylic pieces in here. This is actually the material that's selected and put in here. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to find nice pieces to drop in for these inlays. And again, that's going to be Vanex material for these ones, for the Vanex steel. But feel free to type in the comments as far as what you guys want to take a look at. Over at the QSP Knife website, you can take a look at those as well. For the Pelican, instead of the two, you'd rather have three. Pelican. Let me see what you're talking about on that one. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. It's like different knives are kind of built for different areas. So the Pelican is what you're referring to, and then for this one, you're saying that you'd rather have three screws for the clip instead of the two. So kind of like more of a Spyderco setup to have it be kind of more contact area for that clip is what I'm getting from that. Have you had your scale fail or anything else with the one that you have? Because you can always reach out to us as well if you're having some issues where you can get a replacement products for it. Yeah, but nice blade shape or blade size too for S35 VN. So it's packing a lot of punch for the knife that it is. Yeah, just help at qspknife.com, and we can help out with that if you're having some issues or material failures or anything else. Won't be able to change as far as the mounting for the clip, because that would be a totally new model, but or an update to that model. But even for a deep carry pocket clip, and like on the Grebe, is one of the first ones that I've seen for a deep carry titanium clip. So I don't know if you guys had seen that, but it's a milled titanium deep carry clip on the Grebe. Yeah, it is. And that's where now it comes out too for pocket clips. Like a lot of the market still likes deep carry clips, but not like this doesn't have a clip at all, of course. But it's going to be in this setup. But a lot of them have deep carry clips. It's really the other way does help out in more like even the Parrot not having deep carry clip. It is easier to take in and out of the pocket, but some people like it for the perception probably of being more discreet when it's still a knife. But that's where kind of the market's still sitting for different clip styles. And that's one thing that's a downside for titanium, other than for the Grebe in the premium model. It's a deep carry titanium clip for it. So that's something that you still get a milled clip, but it's a deep carry. If you guys want to take a look at that too, I can pull those out to take a look at that. And there's that other new model that's coming out still. So that'll be the elk. And we'll have some prototypes available at Blade Show. So if you're going to go to the actual physical Blade Show, we'll have those available to buy at that point as well. But I do appreciate the input as well on the knife for the Pelican, and let us know if there's anything else that you guys have. What's up, TC Blades? Let us know if there's anything you want to take a look at. You already have some that you're checking out anyway, but now let us know if you want to see anything else, and then we can run through those. Still have these are out there too now for the limited edition for the Moray. But kind of a now little thing that we're just able to do, have a live show. If anybody wants to see different variations of different things, then they can choose what it is before making their order online. Yep, it's David. Yeah, for the crystallized tie. And this model is so 106 of 193, and that is going to be internationally. So I do have a few of those models, so I can, even if you wanted a different number, then I can see what's available. If you want to make an order on one of those, then I can actually pull a number that you want. At least from what I have, because it is distributed throughout dealers and internationally. So I might not have your favorite number, but I can see what's available if you guys are interested. And same thing for these. Now, if you do get to that $100 purchase, and I'll throw in one of the penguin figurines, so that can be yours to take home with you. But any other models that you guys want to check out, any other questions that you guys might have, let us know. We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary, so hopefully, we're going to work on a special model or special colorway, some type of thing special for the 10th anniversary. So that's coming up for QSP. Is 2017 is when we started, and then right now we're coming up to that, and this is 2026. So 2027 will be our 10-year anniversary for the brand, and that's going to be just for when QSP came around, because OEM, ODM work was done back in 2007. So it's basically almost a 20-year anniversary for QSP, but 10 years for the brand QSP out on the market. So it's that'll be a pretty good milestone for 10-year anniversary. Also now you can throw in your suggestions into the hat as far as what you would like to see from that as well for that 10-year anniversary. Even some things we thought about or talked about a little bit, and because I do have a laser engraver on hand, so if that's something that you guys would like to see in the future, as far as getting customized laser engraving for, especially for birthdays or anything else, different names, really whatever you want to put on the knife would be up to you. I'll just basically copy and paste what you put down. So if you put something that's an inside joke, then that's going to be between you and whoever you give it to. But otherwise, it's something that might be something good for different gifts. If you guys wanted to celebrate like graduations coming up or anything else, that might be something that would be beneficial. But let us know as far as if that's something you guys want to see. Yeah, anniversary penguin. Yeah, penguin's definitely been the model that kind of was able to cement this into the community a little bit. So it was a nice thing to have that happen. There's the heron. So when these come out, these will be under $100 for these. And this is also going to be one that's in Nitro V for the blade steel. So if Texas Pride still in, does that same type of raffia material that he was talking about on the Workaholic. And even for the anniversary penguin, would you like to see an XL anniversary penguin, a regular size anniversary penguin, or something that is the Lion Lock version, the Glide Lock version? What would you like to see for that penguin? XL? So XL penguin on a frame lock, liner lock, glide lock system. What would you say on that one? So we got now one vote for XL, so we'll take that into consideration as well. Those are still prototypes, so I can if you want to email over, we can issue a invoice and we can send that over to you. But otherwise, we're going to be having those available at some of the shows. So we got frame lock. So we already have the frame lock version. So what now? What would you want to see in the XL in a frame lock? Like what type of materials? Because then we have quite a few different ones for the XL, unless you're looking at a budget XL. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can take a screenshot on it too, and when you email in, you can let them know what you're looking at. A little bit of dust on there. Yeah, it's a proto on those. Now, so those are the protos for the heron. So that's what that model's called, is the heron. And that would go along with any of the slips as well. So basically the 3 would be the size for it. So we have the 2 and the 3. The 2 is going to be dolphin size, and then 3 is going to be basically like this size, as well as you're going to have a hedgehog. Even the penguin would probably be in the middle. You could probably use either one. but that'll be a little slip that you could pick up for this model. So that's a new one. That's a prototype for the Heron. Three-inch. Let's see what size this one is. Yep, so a little bit under, so it's about 2.78 from my measurements on this one. And then the plan release on a lot of the prototypes will probably be around the Blade Show time period. But as far as which ones that we're still deciding on, so we even had basically the utility knife penguin that we had prototypes on and we sold out at, I think it was the Texas one, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a Texas sold out of the ones that we had for the utility knife version. And so we're seeing on that one as far as when that one's going to come out. And then some of the other models here. Yeah, this one's also a proto now. So if you like this style, so if you like this but don't care for Vanex, then this one is a prototype for the same knife. Now it's not numbered for this one, but it's a sample. So this is M390. This one's the Vanex version. The M391 actually is less, so you could get a sample for less than the production Vanex version. Again, that's going to be the difference on material for this one. Also, going to be that sample at M390. Email in, and then you can possibly get those, and we can invoice you for it. Otherwise, it'll be at the shows. So we do bring some of the samples to the Blade shows, and then we can kind of work that out because I do have a payment terminal, but then that doesn't really work for this type of setup. But that's going to be one of the samples there. Yeah, you could either email over to info_USA@qspknife.com is going to be my email address, and then or you can send even to help@qspknife.com. Otherwise, any other models or any other variations we can show you here. So given some of these is kind of a retro micarta or G10. But there's the time if you guys have any questions for anything, then let us know on that. Coming up on almost an hour for it now, so if you guys have anything else that you guys have any questions for, then let us know. We'll take that into consideration, of course, and then can kind of talk through any of the new models that are coming out. Or if you want to see any of the older models that you haven't been able to take a closer look at, then we can definitely do that. Yeah, yeah, we could do that one for some of the slip joints. Ketchup and mustard is like red and red and yellow could work, I guess. So it'd be kind of a different coloration. But you're gonna have people in Chicago that aren't gonna like it because you don't put condiments on your hot dogs, right, in Chicago. Oh, the one I just showed. I gotta see where that is. Yeah, that's gonna be the elk. the new prototypes aren't labeled, so oh, there you go. Yeah, so ketchup and mustard, I could see. The blue, I don't know if that would be too tasty or what that type of condiment would be. Because PB&J makes sense. We have to drop the blue if we're going to do ketchup and mustard. I don't think there's anything blue that people would put on unless it's going to be ketchup, mustard, and like jelly, which is weird. Might taste all right though, but it's a little weird. Yeah, we'll probably have if we will have either prototype, if the production actually goes into effect, then that's what we'll have for that. And as far as the heron and Rafir, yeah, and then the glow in the dark, what we're calling ember micarta. If you guys haven't seen that one, some people have been in, some people are newer, but we have that glow in the dark micarta, which it looks like a regular. Uh, a regular micarta as far as a burlap, and then it has a glow material in it. And while I just have it pulled out, so we're talking about the heron a little bit. Like this is even the blue dyed oxbone. So that'll be a different style for that one. I'm glad you like the elk though. Don did really well at the show, sold out of those that we had available for prototypes at that one. Sounds good. Yeah, I can get that in there. Grab the wrong knife. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, and that's one thing, especially for the shows, as far as like how the prototypes are received, accepts affects some of that as well, as far as which one takes priority. So if it's a really hot model at the shows, then that's where it kind of moves up the queue a little bit. That's going to be that burlap look. So that's going to be now. We're kind of coining it as ember micarta. So it's kind of gives you that little ember type of thing when the fire's dying down. And also, I mean, if you have it out, like if hunters are using it or people are camping, if you have your black light on, I mean, this will pop really well. Whether you lose it on the ground somewhere or have it lost, then it would be able to be found pretty easily. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and then that's where it's not. It's always interesting for the different ones that we do OEMs for that aren't really advertised. So when people that know about the products and everything else come across those, like the Finch knives, some of the EMP EDCs. Yeah, and that's one thing nice about this one too. I mean, you can take this off if you're going to have it in a backpack or anything else. But the clips, now just like the Canary, this moves over, so you can change it to whatever location you have. So if you want to have it in more of an angle when it's on your belt, then that's where it can be up like this. And then if you want to change it around, then that's where you can change the hardware, move it to the other side. That will be the only change for that. The hardware can move around to the other side. But it is called the T Cook. So basically, kind of tactical cook, but It's going to be one that's great for pinch grip for it to kind of get into areas. So even with the product, so if your hand's on here, so the blade's still touching whatever surface without getting your knuckles in there. So it has a really good setup for that. You can check out even for Big Red EDCs. Um, uh, Nellie went in and actually tested it out. She likes the knife a lot for the tea cook. That's one of them, and we also have the tiny tot for the new fixed blade. We have all the baby penguins that does have the little Easter egg with the baby penguin under the scales. Yeah, so baby penguin. So there's going to be the one that's actually is going to be the little pocket EDC fixed blade. And this sheath will also, now we sell these sheaths separately. So if you have a neck muck or if you have a canary, you could still use it with this one. Canary is going to be one where you don't want to shove it all the way down and you're not going to get it back out. But now it'll be able to kind of form to the knife that you use it for. So these are available on the website as well. So if you want to get one of these for your other knives. So don't use these. Don't use these for the fixed blades because these aren't built for it. It's not meant for it. You're probably going to cut some of the thread. So it would be just the one that's for the baby penguin. That would be for the fixed blades. As you see on there, you got the little baby penguin. So the baby penguin is also under the other model. So even if you don't see it on those models, if you take out the scales, then that's going to be the little baby penguin in there too. Awesome. Appreciate that a lot. It's coyotes for me. So the new model that's coming out is the coyote that I picked up. So that one I didn't even get for free. I bought it. So it was one that now when it came out as far as one of the shows, I actually bought one of the models. I bought the one with the, we see the aluminum veil. Let's see if I even have a coyote in here. Otherwise I have to grab mine. Yeah, coyote is going to be the one of the top liner lock ones. Yeah, so there we go. So this is pretty much like the one that I picked up. It's called the coyote. So this one also has a glow pivot for it. So this pivot is the same glow resin. And then button actuation. So there's a top liner lock system. I still don't like the name very much, but that's pretty much what it is. So button presses, so that actually actuates that liner lock that's in there. That's going to be the coyote. Camera's glitching a little bit. Yeah, but if you guys have any other questions, do let me know on things, and then we can show those. That's going to be the coyote. And as you see, it's in kind of gives a lot of that snake skin pattern for this, and it's going to be aluminum veil, copper veil, which is that clear G10. So we're the first ones to have it on the market. So anybody else that has it on their knives is one that is second or more. So we're the first to bring these out, and that's one thing. Working with a lot of the knife magazines and everything, they see different things that are out there, and then they are the ones that. If they didn't see it before, then we're probably the first on the market for that. Price on this one's going to be probably about $89, so still under $100 for these guys for final price point. Yeah, and the ferret has a nice action to it as well. Yeah, and it's nice and durable, so that's one thing that's nice, makes it nice about the clear G10. It's a durable material, so a lot of the resins, even though it is beautiful, even though uh, for Texan pride, the Raffier Nobles, with it being resin, it's can be scratched more easily than a G10. Yeah, but that's the model that I chose out of the new lineup. This is the one I like the most. And even this one, we have a full glow. So like you get kind of how the ferret is, you can get a full glow scale. So you can have the full scale glow in the dark. Top liner lock. So basically the button actuation you see here, it's just a basically a bar that attaches to the liner. So it just actually actuates the liner lock system. So you can probably see, so that button just moves that liner. Yes. Yeah, we'll have a black blade as well. Another thing now that's for my creation here, so I might start putting some of mine in as far as possibilities, but I actually haven't submitted any of my designs for the brand for QSP. So I've worked on different things as far as naming things, some little different changes to some of the knives, but as far as my own designs, I don't have any under the QSP name. And QSP again has been around almost 10 years. So there's been some talk about people wanting the XL. So the XL Penguin for the 10th anniversary. So if you guys have any suggestions on it, I think the Penguin's kind of the shoe-in for that, just for the fact that it is the design that kind of really cemented us pretty well. But even if there's a Penguin with a different blade shape, maybe that would be a way to go to kind of change that up a little bit. But let us know in the comments as far as what you guys think about that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, because I have like a fixed blade that I've designed, and then I have another folder. So there's other ones that I've out there. I just haven't put it out to. I haven't even submitted it to QSP for a brand knife. I appreciate that, Kevin. If you guys have any other questions, Kevin or anybody else, if you guys have anything else that you want to take a look at or questions on, let me know. Also, if you have any other ones that you guys want to pick up, I can pull out a few of them so you can see the pattern that you're going to get for the model. And that might help even with the dolphin, with the nebula, even though I don't have very many nebulas available. Even for this one is available in different patterns for that material. It's a natural material. Yeah, and that's where it's hard. If you're going to change up the blade shape, it's going to be um, kind of, it's always going to be a little bit different. So if we did do a different blade shape in there, that's where like the utility knife blade now works pretty well, because it's kind of very similar to that, but just has a utility blade shape that you can swap out. So you always have a fresh blade in there. We've been toying around with some ideas for different blade shapes for the Penguin too, kind of like we did with the Hedgehog. Hedgehog comes with the Spanish tip blade, and it also has the spear point blade, and that's one that we did for that model. So same model, same handle, different blade shape. So that one is the one that's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, no problem. If I can find it, hold on. I don't have any of them labeled, so they're all sitting in blank boxes. You guys can search with me. So that one's no. So that's going to be the mantis on that one. Elk. So that's the Raffir one, Raffir heron. Oh, there's actually the glow. So I'll get to the heron, but there's the full glow. Yeah, we have 14C, and then Nitro V is one that we're playing around with recently for blade steels, and then of course the Vanix. Oh, there you go. That's a dyed blue ox bone by request. This is the heron. So those will be under $100 as well. This one is going to be one in Nitro V for blade steel. Yeah, that's interesting too, because 14C was one that was popular for a while. I know Kershaw used it many years ago, and then it kind of fell out of favor, and then it came back into favor. So it's been a kind of an interesting thing with that, because a lot of the steels out there, I mean, knives aren't the major market for it, as shown by Crucible shutting down. So it's all, most times it's going to be models that aren't available. I mean, steels that are used somewhere else that's kind of incorporated over. And that's where even with the Magna Cuts and everything else, that's why you haven't seen Magna Cut or Magna Max in the lineup, is that basically they want to keep that for US, the US market and Europe market. So we've been trying for a few years now, but it seems like they're not wanting to sell it to a Chinese OEM. So if a Chinese OEM has it, then they actually aren't supposed to have it. So that's where it makes it a little difficult for anybody that wants Magna Cut or Magna Max, because we don't offer it on the QSP lineup, because we're trying to stay within that proper supply channel. That'll be Peregrine. For the heron, you mean for that, Josh? I get it. But at the same time, kind of not. Don't know what that means. Concept NAR. In a way, because now any of the, if you haven't followed the market, now Magna Cut, as far as the Niagara specialty metals, their direction to any of the suppliers is you will not sell to a Chinese OEM. So if they're getting the material, then it's not directly from Niagara. So that's where it's a workaround for that now. So it's not, it is what it is. Now, people want to get what they want to get, but for QSP, we're still trying to stay to the proper supply channels, stay to the proper methods of getting good quality steels in the proper way. So now that is how that works for Magna Cut. So any of the Chinese OEMs that has Magna Cut in their lineup, or MMAX or anything else, that is not purchased properly through Niagara Specialty. This one's the elk. So there's a new prototype as well. You said you like the elk. Still the elk. Yeah, we've been trying for many a years to get Magna Cut, and then Magna Max with that coming out, then that one will also be held off from the Chinese market. But we continue to try to work with them and checking with them every now and then, because every now and then they say, "Oh yeah, in the next year or so," and that's been going on for a few years. That they've been saying that they'll sell it to us. And then with the Crucible shutting down, that kind of threw in another wrench into things as well. But any other models that you guys want to check out, then feel free to let us know as well. If you guys have any other questions, if you want to see other models, any other variants, some of the prototypes that I have in front of me, then I can definitely do that. Watch what I'm wearing now. Bulova Ekitron. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions about different things, if you even disagree with me on different things, then let me know in the comments below. But it's just from what we've come across, then that's something that kind of happens within the markets. Oh, that was the elk. You've already seen the elk before, but that's just the different handle material. That's with the aluminum veil G10. Hedgehog. Well, we have the hedgehog. That one is in the either Spanish tip, or you have the spear point blade. Yeah, so this is one of the only models that we've kind of had a model with different blade shapes. So that's going to be the Spanish tip. And this will be another resin handle bit, and then this is going to be the spear point. Yeah, so this is one of the only models that we've done a different blade shape for the same handle. So basically, it's the hedgehog spear point, hedgehog Spanish tip razor style. It's a really heavy hollow grind. Well, hollow grind on both of them, but that Spanish tip has a nice cutting edge to it. Yeah, and the green micarta, I mean, that's the budget one. What's up, Tim? And did you get the Legatus that was the red G10, the one that was the one that was the budget one, or was it a red insert? Yeah, doing pretty good. Just came on here and kind of walking through anybody that wants to see anything. If anybody has any questions. Also, if anybody wants to place orders, then they could choose kind of what models, what patterns I have, or also what number. So like for these are numbered, so I can pull out the ones that are different numbers, so you can kind of make that choice. And same discussion came up as far as coming up on 10-year anniversary. So what type of model would you guys like to see for a 10-year anniversary? We're talking about pretty much penguin, but like what type of penguin? And if we did penguin, would you want to see a different blade shape? Yep, I send over to info_USA@qspknife.com or to help@qspknife.com, and then we can issue an invoice at that point. Otherwise, though, you can get it at the next blade show. Yeah, no problem at all. And then we still have like the kitchen knife lineup, and so we still won an award over um, in Atlanta for one of our kitchen knives. So we run for the Kiritsuke. That was Damascus, and then we even have things like this. So if anybody's going to be barbecuing and want to have something super fancy, then you can do these. These are going to be a Sanmai style with brass copper Damascus. And cutting edge is going to be VG10 equivalent. And then these do come with a sheath as well. So there's a sheath that you get for it. So you see on that, and that's a brass and copper. So we have that also on the Canary. So if you want to get something smaller, so you're just like, I don't need a big knife like that. It is on the Canary. We have a variant with that brass and copper. We actually gave away a hedgehog with the brass and copper at the NRA annual meeting. And we have the regular Damascus. We have in all the different ones, like the Hawk, and also for the kitchen knife lineup. Nice. No QSP in that lineup. No, those are cool choices. You know, Cold Steel makes some good products. Lynn Thompson should be back around because his do not compete should be over, so he'll probably be back in the market sometime. Millimus is a classic. Oh, dude, you carry the utility knife with the slip. That's actually a good choice, though. I let people know that all the time if they wanted to carry that, have it be a fancy kitchen knife or a fancy steak knife. That might be a good option. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks a lot for stopping in, TC. TC Blade, check him out as far as his channel as well. Has some different products that he shows off. But anything else you guys want to take a look at and talk about, then let us know. Yeah, but kitchen knife lineup's available for that. Even that brass and copper Damascus is available. I'm currently sold out of it for the smaller, um, more utility knife, but it is available. And then do let me know if you guys have any other questions or if you want to see any of the new prototypes available, then I can pull those out. Mm, Trying to follow Lone Star as far as what they're talking about. Might be a middle conversation though. I'm not involved in the conversation. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else. Also, if any of these that now want to pick up, we do have those now that are serialized. And then if you guys have anything else, then we can go and talk about that. Otherwise, we'll probably end probably about 1:30 into the stream. So we'll probably end in about a few minutes here if there's no other comments or questions or anybody else that wants to see anything. But if you do want to see anything else, then let me know in the comments and we can go run through that and have more of a boutique style. So we can pull out different knives that you're interested in. And if you want to make a choice on those, then that would be an easy way to do it. All right, see that one. And that was 43 out of 250 for that variation. That'd be for the Moray. Yeah, the Phoenix is a nice model. I actually like that model too. We had two different handle patterns for that one. Uh, for the one that Blade HQ has, there is some that are now standard production. If it's anything other than um, the Nitro V, then yeah, that would be a dealer exclusive on that one. Yeah, and the Parrot V2 is the one that actually is running on bearings now. So that's the difference between V1, V2. Somebody mentions as far as the Phoenix. So these are two different materials or different patterns that you had for that milling between the two Phoenix variations. And D2 blade steel for substantial size blade for this one. Yeah, that's almost one and the same for the QSP and the Finches. So now they still have, I think, like one or two or three models that are, I think, best tech. But most of the Finches are QSP OEM. And you still have the jumping jack. So that's one that is a collaboration with the Finch knives and QSP. It's under the QSP lineup, but that one is going to be now a Finch design for the jumping jack. I think, and we've been trying, and we always try to get better with things, and then that's where we're coming up on that 10-year anniversary, almost 20 years if you count the OEM part before that. Very cool. Yeah, but if you guys are finding that there's something missing out of the lineup, or something that is super exciting that we're not doing, then let us know on that too, because then we're always trying to now figure out some different ways to meet the market. So if we're not meeting the market in somewhere, then we'll definitely try and work on that. Yeah, we do make a NAF as well. So yeah, that was the NAF V1, or the first one was a QSP as well. That was the NAF's brand. So Lander One was is QSP OEM. Just saying that from the spelling of NAFs on that one. Yeah, and that's some of the feedback we've been getting. Something that's kind of in between, because we did have the workaholic that you could probably still get on some secondaries. So that was probably a little bit smaller. But yeah, we've been some of you have been asking for something between the full size canary fixed blade and the neck knife. So that is something that we've been hearing. So appreciate that a lot. Uh, Officially and unofficially, it's been a long time. So it's probably been since 2019, I think, with them. So now helping them out and everything for the show. Now, so officially now with the U.S. representation, it's been a few years already for that. So I think yeah, it's been a long, quite a while as far as been with QSP. So going from people not knowing who we are to be having a little bit uh, more recognizable for the brand. So that's something that is nice, where people know who we are, actually come to us. Because a lot of times, I mean, we even remember when we went to Blade HQ with the models and said, "We want to look at the models," and they're like, "Nope, not interested." So it's been a definitely a curve for that. And then going over to like the NRA side, now it's been kind of starting over, because that whole market doesn't know who we are either, even though it's been 10 years. So that's where we're still trying to learn and grow and get to those different markets. Yeah, great value and quality. Now that's where it's just a lot of the brands started out with premiums and went budget, and then we went budget and going premium. So that makes it a little bit harder for some of those. Yeah, that's interesting to think about too, and as far as being the face of QSP, and because for a long time, especially during the COVID time period, I was running the shows and everything else, and the team wasn't coming down for the show. So now for the Atlanta show, there'll be some of the QSP team from China, but now for a lot of it, yeah, I was the one doing the shows and kind of the videos and all that. Yeah, thank you very much on that. But yeah, it's still trying to get better and trying to get into that market, because even some of our OEMs, so the OEM work that we do, now some of those brands might be more accepted than our own knife. So we could come out with similar build and everything, similar materials, and then sometimes it's getting better. But at first, when we started to bring out the premium stuff, um, they would say, "Okay, well, M390 titanium, this is 150 $150." It's like, no, it's not going to be that much. So that's where the market definitely has changed, where we're a little bit more recognized for the qualities, and then just trying to get some of that the, the energy behind some of those products. Oh yeah, and then yeah, and still have the numbers system for it. So especially for something like this, I could pull out the different ones that I have, so you can see the different patterns. and then what numbers I do have available. I don't have all the numbers. So if you had a favorite number, it's not likely that I would have that favorite number, but at least I'd give you that option to choose. And that's one thing that the live stream system offers, as far as being able to kind of see the difference, be able to choose the one that you like out of the variation, because there are just going to be some variants in those models. Yeah, Big Red's been able to help a lot. We had Jack Farmboy helped out at one of the shows, so he's been a member of the community before. He's starting a coffee and candle company. I don't know if you anybody that's been around the community for a while might know Jack Farmboy, but um, he was with Kaiser for a little while as well. So he helped out with one of the shows. Ooh, sweet. That's a nice birthday present, and that's something that you got yourself, or your family got you. How did that come about? Because some people that have tutors actually like it better than their Rolex watches. Ah, nice. Yeah, there's the one I'm wearing today. So this is a Bulova Akutron. I was able to do a movement swap on it because the one that was in there wasn't working. But sadly, the second hand wasn't working, so I just took it off. So I'm fine with it being the minutes and hours. I just don't have that sweep of the Accutron. Yeah, that's an awesome present for that one. I'm not to that level, although I could be if I stop buying some other watches. Same thing with knives. So if you have a knife budget, and then you continually buy knives, you could have bought the one that you really wanted. So that's kind of where the hobby kind of goes. Where it's like, well, you want to have a knife, you buy like a $20 knife or anything else, and you buy enough of them, then that would be your premium knife. It's like anybody that says that they don't want to spend $500 on a knife. If that's really what you want and really what you're going for, then get that knife, because a lot of the other ones are going to be kind of fillers and kind of filling that in. And with the hobby, or any hobby, you'll be able to kind of figure out where you like and what you want to go with. Yeah, and that's where now a lot of people say that they prefer the Tudors over the Rolexes. Well, impressive. Yeah, Grand Seiko has some nice dials to it as well. I have a Tag Heuer that I got in that I'm sending out. I send out for repair because that one it was pretty rough. It was like it was a Tag Heuer Professional. I think it's the 6,000, 3,000. One of the, it's not the 2,000, but that one I sent out for repair because I tried to work on it and it didn't come back to life. So I just sent it in to see how bad that bill is going to be. Yeah, and I was able, when I was in Houston, I went over to the Houston Space Center, so I was able to see some of the Omegas for Houston area. So that was kind of a cool thing where they showed the different ones. One of them, the watches, like, it's pretty ugly. One of the Megas, but the other Omega that they had, I think it was one of the Speedmasters. That was a pretty nice setup. I'll see if I can pull up a picture of that. Yeah, there's the tag that I sent out. And you could touch a piece of the moon at the Houston Space Center too. That was kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, but that one I got a decent deal. Depends on how service might just kill that watch if service is too much. I'm trying to find the Omegas that were at the Houston Space Center. There you go. So this I think is ugly for this Omega, and it's very expensive, and it's very ugly, I think. And this one I actually like a lot. That Speedmaster. Yeah, normally online for it. So I was luckily able to get some locally. I mean, you always have Facebook Marketplace or any of the auction sites that you can try and look for it. I even found like a pre-70s Invicta when they were actually still a Swiss company. Yeah, a lot of different things are out there. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So if you have a specific thing that you're looking for, then of course you can look for that certain item. Because in the QSP lineup now, what do you guys feel that's missing, or what do you think that would be the premium, or what's missing even from our premium side? Because a lot of people like us for the budget and the mid, but the premium side, it seems like we're a little bit need a little bit of work to get there. So if there's anything that you guys have for input on that, as far as what do you feel might be missing from that side of things, that could help out the brand as well. Oh no, not at all. I've just been hanging out anyway. So that's one thing about this one. It's kind of like going to a blade show. So if you have conversations or anything else, if somebody wants to see something, they can see something. Otherwise, that would be there's conversations that happen. Yeah, mine or wine only. I mean, I don't mind on that. If you don't wear it a long time, if it doesn't have the hacking for the date, that would be a pain. Sub 3. Yeah, because I think now for the Mantis, I think it comes up a little bit taller than that or longer than that. Because even for because the Peregrine works for that. The Otter is actually a good gentleman style knife, and that actually I have in premium and budget. So the Otter I think is a great one for a gentleman's carry. The Peregrine when that comes out is a good one for the sub 3. Given for some of the models that we have, some of the slip joints, I mean, that's a lot of the gentleman style as well. But we've been looking at some of the way that people handle the slip joints, especially if you're not used to them, then there might be a little bit of struggle for the pull. There's that Mantis. Went up and down a row of boxes since I don't have the prototypes listed or named. There we go. Yeah, man, this will be almost a 3.4 roughly. That'll be a thin one. and then it has a disc as well, so it doesn't catch on things. So some might not want discs, but I mean it's within the body, so you can't really catch it too much as far as like a thumb stud, but disc works really well. And these have the glow as well on the backspacer. And then we have the full glow for this model for the Mantis. Appreciate the conversation because it's better than talking to myself. So if you guys have anything else that you guys want to talk about, any other topics as well, then do let me know on that. And then we'll continue to move along if you guys want to still have a conversation. Otherwise, we can say goodbye for today and then see where things go. Good. Yeah, glad you got your watch as well. That's a really cool thing to have. Yeah, because I was talking with somebody that had a Rolex, and they said, "Yeah, I prefer my Tudor over the Rolex." We'll check out and see if there's anybody else for. Uh, if you want to see any other variants, any other models, because we do have still about 40 plus models that are out there. No, thanks very much. Yeah, so let me know if there's anything else that you guys might have, any other models, any other things that you have for questions. Rolex Prestige aspect, but yeah, I mean there's I think with Rolex they have little games as far as how to play it, and as far as okay, well you have to buy something or you have to be a current customer, and then like we don't have anything available and they're all sold out, even though they probably have it. So it's kind of a different game when you get into that realm. Nice. Yeah, and thanks for being part of the stream for almost, I'm pretty sure the whole thing. I think you're the first comment in here. So it's a little bit better than just hanging out and just like twiddling my thumbs. So it's good to have a conversation. Any questions, anything, even for industry things, it's better to have a conversation than to be talking to yourself. Yeah, and that's where the secondary market, Tim. I mean, that's where a lot of those you can pick up secondary side, even on the other platforms that you've been on. I mean, they come across on there, and then they're like different sellers that have them. Yeah, and that's where now a lot of it. So even for a lot of the company for QSP, I mean, it is a Chinese company. It still supports U.S. jobs, U.S. people. And so I'm the U.S. representative. We have our dealers, distributors that it helps them. So it's a lot of different things that go into it, not just the production side of where it's made, but basically who it's made by and how that goes. What does your algorithm normally give you? So normally, what your algorithm gives you is what you're watching. So, but yeah, if you do have any questions for it, and that's where I've been in probably the knife side probably since like 2018, 17. So I've been around for a bit. So been part of with the QSP for their journey, and then doing my own things. Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that happen, a lot of things that are considered new, that's old. So that's where many of those new innovations have been done before. Um, and that's where it's interesting too. Like for slip joints, that's where it's also interesting. Where slip joints, like everybody could have a slip joint, exact same model, nobody has a problem with it. But anything that's like slightly similar might cause an uproar in the modern side. But definitely some great models, especially getting people into the hobby. Work on your gun guys. If anybody has guns, then they normally have some pretty horrible knives. Anybody that's not in the hobby normally has no knife or a horrible knife. And then that might be their experience, especially with the Chinese OEM side. If they're picking up gas station knives or other ones that are not the best, that might be their experience. Appreciate that. Yeah, and so well, I'll try for it, see what goes on with that as far as what sticks and fits into the lineup. Yeah, because I think even for I think I've been around probably one of some of the longest. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think about out of all the U.S. reps, I think I've been around even longer than Seth has for being around for the Wii knife side. But no, I think Russell's been around longer. I think Russell definitely has been around longer for Artisan because I think before I was even working with QSP, he was working with Artisan. So I think he's probably the most seasoned representative out of the group. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, and that's where it's good to get some feedback on it. Granted, business is business, and we'll try and do what we can for it. But it's good to know what the market's looking for, what we're looking to, what we're missing, if we are missing anything else, because we're always trying to get better and trying to be able to do our best. Um, yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, there hasn't been too many, I guess, that stuck around. Oh, Father, you see, welcome in. Yeah, but I think Russell's been around the longest that I remember as far as a U.S. representative for the same brand. So that hasn't moved around. Like David's son's been around in for the industry, but he's moved around to different companies and different brands. Yeah, if you want to see anything, oh father, let me know. Some of the ones on the table are the limited editions for the Moray in Vanek steel. Otherwise, we have some other ones if you want to take a look at it for other prototypes. And you could always choose as far as which numbers or anything else you wanted, or different styles. I could pull out a few different ones of the same model. But where's everybody at? And I guess if you had to throw out a number for what's your comfort level? Because for me, it's probably like 250 is still my comfort level for knives, as far as the amount that I get. Nesmuck and Lmax, not if it's a dealer exclusive, more possible. $400 on that, but dealer exclusive, more possible. Really, the Nesmuck, I mean, for the elk is kind of the folder style of a Nesmuck. It's very similar to that blade shape. Otherwise, for the only one we have is the neck knife for the neck muck. That's kind of similar to that blade shape than a neck muck. 300 tops. Yeah, I think that's once you get into the hobby, that's kind of where it goes. Because for me, yeah, definitely started out at $40 was my top, and then it changed the longer I was in the hobby. Yeah, so that's kind of neck muck versus the new elk. So I think it has a pretty similar blade shape to that. And this is the one that also you could use the new sheath for the baby penguin. So if you want to use this for with a sheath, leather one, then you can do that with a baby penguin. Yeah, I splurged on. Yeah, there's some knives that I splurged on, and some I wasn't very happy with. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like the Leduc. Yeah, and that's where that leather sheath will work for it. So I can even show you what it looks like if you want to see what it looks like in the sheath for that baby penguin or baby penguin sheath with like the canary or with the neck muck. And then we have it in the black and the brown. So that's the two options that you have for colors. Again, don't buy the ones for these. These are not for the fixed blades. So that's going to be just the baby penguin will be fixed blades. There's more folders. Oops. Okay. So it'll be your pocket fixed blade, and the little duck head would be like the way to take it out. That's one thing about the slips and the sheaths. Just because it's a QSP brand, you don't need to put a QSP knife in there, but it is available for you if you want it. All right, count down to the last bit. Now we have almost a 2-hour mark, so now we'll probably end it pretty soon unless there's anything else. So I'll stick around as long as you want to have a conversation, but if there's nothing else, then we'll end it here. But let us know what you have. Check out qspknife.com, check out the Instagram, YouTube side, uh, and then we're going to have next show coming up. It will be Atlanta, and then we'll be over in Utah. So we'll do Blade West, so Blade and Blade West. So those are our shows for the end of the year, and we'll go back around. We have a new place in SHOT Show as well, so we have a new booth space there. Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the conversation. Knives or not knife related still helps out. Yeah, thanks guys. Check out the products. Check out the things. It's good to have people folks in the community as well. But let us know if there's anything else that we can help with. Info_USA at QSPKnife.com is my email. So if you have any questions, you can send me as well. So that'll be another option for you. Otherwise, reach me here, comments, Instagram comments, and then that'll be the way to go. So QSP Knives is on the Instagram. Wait, and I forgot my handle on the other side. QSP Knives USA on Instagram is mine. Thanks, and thanks for staying through the whole stream. Helps out to have some type of engagement, and thank you for everybody that came in. If you guys have any other questions, do let me know. Reach out. Otherwise, 2 hours been on for the stream, and then being able to talk and hang out and show some products. So hopefully you guys gained something from that, and we've gained something from your guys' input as well. So thank you very much on that. Check it out, QSP Knife, qspknife.com. And we'll see you guys in Atlanta if you'll be there. Otherwise, check out for other content coming out too. Have a good day, guys.